Welcome to Root Scripture. If you are new here, welcome. This channel has one mission: going through the entire Bible back to the original Hebrew and Greek, uncovering what most translations left behind. Right now, we are in the Genesis series, one verse, one discovery at a time, all the way down to the root. Now let's get into what we uncovered in Genesis 1-2. And I promise you, this one is going to hit different. What we are about to find in this verse is not intellectual, it is personal. It is going to speak directly into something most people are either currently going through or have survived and never fully understood. There is a season most people know, but almost nobody talks about honestly. The one where nothing has taken shape yet. Where you look at your life and what you see is not what you were told it would look like by now. The career that was supposed to be further along, the relationship that was supposed to feel different, the version of yourself you were certain you would have become by this point, where you cannot tell if you are at the beginning of something or the end of everything, where God feels not absent exactly, but quiet, distant, like He stepped back and is waiting for you to figure something out before He shows up again. Genesis has a word for that season, and what it says about how God responds to it is going to change how you read every dark season you have ever been through. Before we go into the Hebrew, I want you to see something about the structure of these first two verses. Genesis 1:1 does one thing. It establishes the largest possible claim: God created everything. That verse is cosmic in scope. It is talking about the totality of existence. And then Genesis 1:2 does something completely different. The camera zooms in. We move from the largest possible frame, God created everything, to this specific moment, this specific condition, the earth, before anything has taken shape, and before God speaks a single word of creation, before light, before order, before anything changes. The text stops to show us something. It shows us where God was. And where God was is the discovery that changes everything. The verse has three movements, and every one of them matters. Movement 1. The earth was without form and void. In Hebrew, tohu, vavohu. Two words. And they are not saying the same thing, so do not let the English collapse them into one idea. Tohu means formless, not broken, not destroyed, not ruined, simply unbuilt. Something that exists, but has not yet become what it was made to be. There is no structure yet, no organizing principle, no shape that tells you what this thing is for. Then vavohu, which means void, empty, not the absence of something that was once there, the absence of something that has not yet arrived. The earth is not broken, it is unfilled, not ruined, unoccupied, not at negative, at zero. Together, tohu vavohu is not a description of a problem waiting to be solved. It is a description of a beginning, absolute zero, the starting point of everything God was about to build. Movement 2. Darkness over the face of the deep. The Hebrew word for darkness here is choshech, and it is important that you understand what it does not mean before we go any further. Choshech is not darkness as evil. It is not darkness as the presence of something sinister or hostile. In Hebrew, choshech in this context simply means the condition that exists before illumination arrives, the silence before the word, the state of a room before someone turns on the light, not because something is wrong with the room, but because the light has not yet been spoken into it. This matters because the darkness of Genesis 1:2 is not the darkness of Genesis 3. It is not the darkness of rebellion or ruin. It is simply the darkness of not yet. The condition that exists immediately before God decides to speak. The Hebrew word for deep here is tehom. And in the ancient world, in every culture surrounding Israel, tehom represented everything that felt beyond human control. Vast, ungovernable. The kind of thing that makes you feel small just thinking about it. The deep was what lurked beneath everything stable, threatening to swallow it. Genesis does not treat tehom as the enemy. In Genesis, the deep is not the opponent of what God is about to do. It is the canvas He is about to work on. The things in your life that feel like tehom, vast, ungovernable, too deep to see the bottom of, are not outside God's reach. They are not the exception to what He can work with. In the pattern of Genesis, they are exactly the kind of raw material He has always preferred. Movement 3. And the Spirit of God was hovering. This is the discovery that is about to change everything for you. The Hebrew word translated as hovering is merashephet, and it is one of the most striking words in the entire creation account. In 39 books, in 929 chapters, in 23,145 verses, merashephet appears exactly twice. The first time is here, Genesis 1:2, the Spirit of God hovering over the chaos of an unformed world. The second time is in Deuteronomy 32:11, and this is the moment I need you to pay close attention to, because this is where the Hebrew does something that most English readers have never seen. Moses uses the exact same word, merashephet, to describe something specific, an eagle hovering over its nest, not perched above it at a safe distance, not circling it from far away, hovering, wings spread, suspended, body still, watching its young below, positioned precisely over them, ready to move the instant any one of them needs to be caught. Not a passive presence, not an indifferent observer, a presence that is engaged, attentive, protective, moving over the formlessness with the focused intention of something that knows exactly what it is watching over and exactly what it is about to do. The Spirit of God hovering over the primordial chaos in Genesis 1:2, and an eagle hovering over its young in Deuteronomy 32:11. Same word, written by different authors, in different books, centuries apart. And when you place them side by side, the same picture emerges. God over the chaos is not a distant observer waiting for things to settle before He gets involved. He is the eagle, wings spread, suspended directly above what looks like nothing, watching, present, ready. And one more thing before we go further. The word translated as spirit is ruach, and it is not a static theological concept. In Hebrew, ruach is also the word for breath and wind. It is a word of movement, of life, of the kind of presence that is felt before it is seen. The ruach of God is not floating above the chaos at a comfortable distance. It is breath over the waters, wind over the deep, life pressing itself against the surface of everything that has not yet become what it was made to be. Before a single word had been spoken, before a single thing had changed, the Spirit of God was already there. I want to show you a pattern before we get to the personal application, because once you see it, you are going to start finding it everywhere. In Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, and in the entire creation account that follows, the sequence is always the same. First, formlessness, tohu vavohu, the condition of incompletion, the starting point, Second, presence. Before anything changes, before a single word is spoken, the Spirit of God arrives into the chaos, not after it resolves. Third, order. God speaks. Light is separated from darkness. Structure emerges from formlessness. The rooms are built before they are filled. Fourth, life. The filling happens. Creatures, vegetation, humanity, everything designed to inhabit what has been ordered. Formlessness, then presence, then order, then life. Not the other way around. God does not wait for you to have things figured out before He shows up. He does not require the order to exist before He arrives. Presence comes before order. Always. In Genesis. In every life the Bible follows closely. In yours. The sequence is not accidental. It is the pattern of how God works, and it overturns one of the most deeply held assumptions of modern life, that you need to have things figured out before God can do anything with them. He never waited for the world to figure itself out before the Spirit arrived. He will not wait for you either. Every person watching this right now knows what this season feels like. The season where nothing has taken shape yet. Where the thing you were expecting to emerge has not emerged. Where you look at the landscape of your life and what you see is tohu vavohu, formless, empty, not yet what it was supposed to be by now. And the instinct in that season, the almost universal human instinct, is to assume that God has stepped back, that the formlessness means He has left the room, that the silence means He is not speaking, that the darkness means He has moved on. Genesis 1:2 says the opposite. The Spirit of God does not arrive after the chaos resolves. It arrives into the chaos. It hovers over it. It is present within it before a single thing changes. The unfinished season is not evidence of God's absence. In the biblical pattern, the formless season is almost always the condition that immediately precedes His most significant creative work. Think about a season in your past that felt like Genesis 1:2. Dark, heavy, directionless, nothing taking shape. The version of your life that felt like absolute zero. Looking back at it now, can you see the hovering? Can you trace the presence that was there before the order emerged? The thing that held when nothing else did? The moment that arrived before you knew it was coming? What does that tell you about the season you are in right now? He does not fill before He forms. He does not give life before He builds the room. And He was already over your chaos before you knew you were in it. The hovering comes before the speaking. The presence comes before the order. The Spirit was already there before anything changed. And in the pattern of Genesis, it was that presence hovering over the formless and the void that was always the first sign that something was about to be created. The Hebrew word for hovering, merakifet, appears only twice in the entire Bible. Here, over the chaos of an unformed world, and in Deuteronomy, describing an eagle suspended over its young, not passive, not distant, fully present, and ready to catch them the moment they fall. That is the word the Spirit of God chose for what He was doing over your chaos. Which means, if the Spirit of God is hovering over your life right now, you are not at the end of something. You are standing at the beginning of what He is about to build. This is Root Scripture, and this is what we do here every single week. One discovery, one verse at a time. If this video found you at the right moment, if this is exactly what you needed to hear today, please like, subscribe, and share this video to someone who needs it. The Bible rewards the reader who slows down. Root Scripture exists for that reader. I will see you in the next one.